So when it's time to clean the filter, general rule of thumb is when you can't see the screen anymore, that's time to clean it. And if you don't clean it, what will happen is when your wash cycle is finished, you go to take your clothes out of the wash machine and they're still going to be wet because there's not enough time for the wash machine pump to pump the water out through when the filter becomes saturated. So it's not going to do any harm, it's not going to back up and overflow your washing machine, but a good indicator that you need to clean it is that you don't, your clothes are very wet. So that clean it. And general rule of thumb is when you can't see the stainless steel screen inside, then it's time to clean it. So this one's almost time to clean. And you don't want to clean it too often either, because with the lint on the screen, it actually is a lot more efficient at catching the microfibers and particles. So anyway, typically then what you'll do is this filter bowl is full of water once you use it the first time. So some people make the mistake of doing the laundry and let it sit in here for 2 or 3 days, and then they break the seal and you get an unpleasant odor. So I suggest cleaning it right after the washing machine is finished. So basically you have fresh laundry wastewater in here. So there's a mark that lines up here. So it's just a simple 1/8 of a turn to the left. The filter head drops down. Grab the screen, pull it down in. Okay, so that's removed. This stays put. And here I have the filter bowl and the filter screen inside of it, and all the water's contained. So you don't usually make a mess or any drips. So and then I'm going to proceed to a sink to drain it. Okay, so I'm at the sink. Now, typically in the past, I've had a piece of paper towel or a coffee filter to put in the drain, and then pour the water through. And the idea is to catch the lint. You don't want to go down the drain, or you just defeated the whole purpose of the filter. But I've developed a new mesh bag that's reusable and very fine. And what I'm going to do is dump the lint filter through that, which will make it much easier and capture all the lint so it doesn't go down the drain. So I'm going to pour it in here. And you can see a lot of lint in the water already. Okay, so I'm going to leave the filter bowl in there, and that'll typically drain out. And I can see what I'm trying to do is get all the lint to drop in here. Okay, so I'm just going to set that up there. And that's draining out as we go. And what works quite well is a cat and dog grooming brush, which has non-bristles, available at a pet store. I find that works quite well. Scrape down the sides of the filter. Try to keep it in the bag here. You can also just scrape it onto a piece of lint as well, or a piece of paper towel. We get the majority off with the brush, and then typically a piece of paper towel rubbed in a circular motion will kind of pick the rest of the lint out. Some people use a cloth rag as well. That works really well. Fibers kind of stick to each other. Some people prefer to take it outside and just rinse it down with a garden hose. That's not always an option. The finer screen is actually a lot easier to clean. It just kind of wipes off. The pores are smaller, so they come off a little bit easier. So that's typically it, and just give her a little rinse with the do it into the bag to catch any of the lint. There we have the lint in the bag and the water draining out, which we can let dry out and clean out later. Okay. and we're ready to reinstall it in the filter. Okay, so before you reinstall it on the filter, you want to make sure that your sealing surfaces are clean with lint and any grit, because that will wear out the seal. So typically you want to make sure that this seal is clean. You can give the inside a little wipe out if there's a bit of lint up and around caught up there. And then inside the filter bowl, where this area would sit, where the seal is, you want to make sure that's clean. And that seal should last a long time. If you do this, it won't have any way to cause it to degrade. Okay, so that's clean. The grommet seal inside of that. And this doesn't have to be perfectly clean. You're only going to collect lint on it again, so I wouldn't spend too much time making sure it's perfectly clean. And typically, install the screen first. Push it up all the way. Some people, you have to be careful that you don't scrape the inside of the filter bowl where it seals on the filter. And if that happens, sometimes you'll get a little leak and you might need to take a little fine piece of sandpaper and sand that out. Typically that doesn't happen if you're a little bit careful. So raise it to the top and turn it to the right, and you know it's in place when your alignment marks line up. And this feels loose, and that's designed to do that. That's the way it's supposed to operate. This seal here is actually, it's not an O-ring, it's a quad seal. So that is a little different than an O-ring. And again, I said don't use a petroleum-based lubricant. It'll cause that seal to swell, and then it won't seal in here. Seals are available if you need them, but you shouldn't need it if you follow those simple tips. So basically that's it. You're ready to go again. And because the material is stainless steel, you're able to reuse it and clean it. And in the long run, that's going to save you money because you don't have to buy any replacement filters or bags or the hassle of ordering them. And that's it for today. Okay, so this is some lint that I collected out of my machine. Probably about 2 weeks of lint, and let it dry out, so it gives you an idea of the amount, and it's pretty disgusting. Anyway, my goal is to actually, the lint from your dryer and the lint from the wash machine is to have it collected and be made or reused into other new products. So that's actively being pursued now, and there's some companies that are actually using these fibers to create new products from. So to make it much more sustainable. So that's our ultimate goal.